everybody. Welcome to Coming Up Roses. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Kelly, and this is your Saturday, April 30th edition of Coming Up Roses, episode 59.
Yep, last one in April. Probably most of y'all are going to be listening to beginning of May, which is crunch time. It's crunch time for you.
Yeah, well, you know what? Funnily enough, all of our end of the year testing at school is done.
I know, that's crazy.
For kindergarten, yeah, for some reason it was really early. Like, we still have 7 weeks of school left.
I learned early on in our marriage that May was always the rough month, particularly when you were teaching in the higher grades. But even like right before you started teaching kindergarten, they started doing all that end of year testing, like the hardcore end of year testing.
We had a lot then, and it's not as much anymore, but it's taken 2 solid weeks to test, and then I'd be interested to see where they would be in 7 more weeks.
Yeah. Are they going to be pulling, like, Robin out of the classroom to do proctoring and all that? I mean,
whoever's listening at my school, that better not happen.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I can't deal with...
You hadn't even thought about that, have you? Oh, shit.
No, I don't think that'll happen. That hasn't happened in a number of years.
Yeah. I remember a few times that happened with your old assistant, Edith.
But I have 2 autistic children in my class.
Yeah.
That require a lot of time, and there's just no way one person can do it.
Yeah, that's true.
Not this person anyway. There might be someone out there who can do it.
Yeah, Superman. Batman.
But, you know, I have...
Batman could do it.
I have 17 kids, so of all various... Although the testing, I thought was going to be, like, so early and things were just not going to be good, and I was really very impressed with where my kids are at.
It's because you're awesome.
Yeah, I mean, they just made a lot of progress, so I was worried there. They
didn't get there on their own,
but we're okay.
Yeah.
And then I still have, a month and a half, so.
Yeah. But still, if they've got that out of the way, maybe this May won't be the struggle that prior Mays have been.
Well, that's the hope.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, the big testing, the SOL testing, starts later in May.
Yeah. And that's where, was it 3rd grade and above, get a little frazzled? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. Gotta prove that you're doing something somewhere, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm looking to... Oh, yeah, we have 1, 2, 3, 4... Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7. Damn it.
7 more weeks?
Yeah.
And then after... Not a week after that, but 2 weeks after that, we're going to Hatteras.
The next week.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I don't get out. I get out June 17th, and we go to Hatteras on the 25th.
Mm.
So it's 1 week after I get out of school.
All right.
So, looking forward to that.
Yeah. Yeah, I am too. A lot.
That'll be good. So this week, I am on week 2
of the wonder
of my wonder journey.
Mm-hmm.
My weight loss and better habits plan.
I think this is really working for you though, because you are you're determined to follow it, and more so than any other diet that we've tried.
It's not a diet. That's why.
Yeah, that's why.
At least right now they're like, eat what you eat. It's not about what you're eating. It's about how and when you're eating.
Yeah. Because even today we went out for lunch, and with the things that they've taught you, you were like, I don't need to eat this whole big lunch.
Right. So. Well, this week was about your in-meal habits, like during your meal. So it was slowing down your chewing, eating for 10 minutes and then taking a 5-minute rest, and then eating for 10 more minutes to decide because your hungerness, the feeling of being full, doesn't hit you until 20 minutes after you've eaten. So if you're eating everything super fast and you're overeating and then you feel way uncomfortable, And then you just eat until you're comfortably full. Mm-hmm. So do you still feel hungry? That's made a big difference to me.
Yeah.
The chewing slow has been probably the most attention that I have to give is to the chewing slow.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're a slow eater.
Yeah.
And so he's now my pace car. I told him that this morning. I kind of just have to make sure I finish after Kevin. And I've been doing that pretty. And then today I had half of the sandwich. I was at my 10-minute mark, so I just stopped eating for 5 minutes. And then when that time was up, it was like, I really don't feel like I could eat the whole other half of that sandwich. Yeah. So maybe
it wasn't a huge sandwich either.
I'll just take the turkey out of it and eat the turkey.
Yeah.
And the ham, which is what I did. I just didn't eat the bread and the mayonnaise and all the other stuff that was with it. And then I switched it, like I had potato chips, but they were baked. And I did eat the whole bag. I take that back. I did eat the whole bag. But, I mean, I had 2 scrambled eggs and a piece of sausage and a piece of toast for breakfast.
Yep.
And then that for lunch. And so tonight we're going to have hamburgers for dinner, which is not my favorite. So Yeah. But anyway, so I've been off sugar. On Tuesday it'll be two full weeks.
Yeah.
That I haven't had anything with added sugars.
Yeah.
I've had things with sugar in them, like fruit and bread and that, it's just normal foods that you eat with your
not
meal.
Necessarily carbs, but the stuff.
Yeah, I'm not like
sugar.
reading labels and trying to eat everything with 0 sugar.
But
I haven't had like
we haven't had,
coffee with sugar in it, or ice cream, or cookies, or cakes, or Swiss cake rolls, or I haven't had any of that stuff in 2 weeks. And to be honest with you, I don't miss it that much.
Yeah,
I miss the coffee. There have been a couple of days where it was like, oh man, the weekends are hard because I'm home. Like at work, I'm just busy. I'm not thinking about it. The weekends are hard, especially when we're like, oh, let's go out, go for a drive,
But you do the cutest thing now. Like you'll look around and see people and like make salty comments.
Well, that was I was doing that for your benefit more than anything.
But still, that was cool.
We we took a ride down to the ocean front, and I have a sarcastic attitude, and I was just making all salty comments about these thin little twig girls that were standing at the Sugar Shack with the big milkshake and and we, of course, windows up, and I'm only saying it to Kevin. I would never, say it to a person. But he's like, dang, and I'm like, well, it's been 2 weeks without sugar. Look at these bitches that can just eat whatever they want. You'll be sorry. They were coming
out of a candy shop. They were literally coming out of not even an ice cream shop. It was a candy shop on the Atlantic. And
I was like, you just wait until you get out of high school and you start packing the pounds on in college,
you bitch.
But that was just I really wanted a coffee.
It's cute as shit, though. It's great.
But I've done good. I feel like I've successfully gotten off of Starbucks. I've even been in the car with someone going through Starbucks and passed it up.
Because Mom doesn't give a shit.
Well, Mom drinks sugar-free.
Yeah.
Vanilla stuff. She doesn't put sugar in her coffee. So for her, it's not sugar either. But I just don't like my coffee that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although now, maybe it would taste better. I don't know. But I kind of don't even want to.
You don't want to.
I don't want to go back to it because I've also enjoyed not spending all that money at Starbucks.
Yeah, we've saved quite a bit of money. We've saved 15% by not going to goddamn Starbucks every day.
Between that and the Chick-fil-A breakfast every day, which we don't do anymore.
Miss Pag.
Pretty alright guy.
Yeah.
Who's not pretty alright guy anymore.
He stopped saying that. It wasn't a couple weeks after the show where we talked about pretty alright guy. He stopped saying, I'm pretty alright.
Because I wonder if he saw a show where someone told him about it. I'm like, I don't know.
But he got more disheveled too, so I don't know. Something's going on with that kid.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not pretty alright anymore. Maybe he's just depressed.
This week, meals, divide and conquer. You split your meals into quarters. You eat it 1 quarter at a time. You slow down your eating. There's a little timer built into their app that will time you for 10 minutes and then off for 5, and then, which I've used a couple times. I used it today. And I've lost 10 pounds. And not even 2 full weeks. So.
I think this is really good for you. You know?
My knee has pretty much stopped hurting, although that just shifted to my lower back.
Some of that, too, might be Tilly's a little pissed with us because we switched sides of the bed, and she can't cuddle at your legs anymore.
She can. She just won't cuddle with me on that side of the bed for some reason.
Well, yeah, because she's weird. She's a weird dog.
So she's been actually sleeping in her bed on the floor, which is great for both of us.
Yeah.
But her attitude has been a little different toward us. Toward me, anyway. Not really so much toward you.
Yeah.
But she'll get over it.
She'll get over it.
I've been sleeping. My legs feel better and my back hurts. But that's, I just shift pain. That's what I do. My back's like, all right, I'll take it from here, leg. You can feel better for a while. And now my other knee is starting to hurt just a little bit. But it's all from compensating for a couple weeks.
And once you start dropping more weight, it'll get better.
Yeah. And I'm trying not to take a lot of Tylenol or, Aleve or ibuprofen or any of that kind of stuff. I'm really not wanting to overdo all that. So I feel it more than I probably need to. But I've been down that road before, too, where I took a lot of Tylenol. Not Tylenol so much, but like ibuprofen, Aleve because of knee pain. So much that it caused stomach problems. So I was like, God damn, But, I'm getting better. Had, steady decline on the scale. And then one day I was just up for no reason, like half a pound. And then the next day up like 0.3. And I'm like, that's not going to let it get to me. And then I'm kind of now back down to where I was before. So just the wonders of being in my mid-50s and menopause and all that other fun.
Well, not mid-50s. You're early 50s.
Early 50s, that's true. Yeah, 51 is not mid-50s.
Yeah, that's not even halfway.
Had a weird thing the other night that I came home and I was just relaxing and my right cheek felt hot, but my left cheek was nice and cool.
She'll have me check her, do the hand check on her for temperature
about
wise.
Having a fever all the time.
And most of the time she's just right as rain. But she had me check both sides of her cheeks.
Feel both sides. Does this one feel warmer? And he's like, yeah, actually, that's really weird.
It was weird. It was weird. It was noticeably hotter on the left. And I was like, oh. And I got a little worried about it. I was like, because that's got to be like circulation or something,
Oddly enough, I kind of brushed it off. And then today we were talking about it. And Kevin's like, oh, like, do you want me to Google it? He's like, yeah, damn it, go ahead and Google it.
Because, I was kind of shocked when she did, because, most of the time you Google anything in, WebMD or any of that, you've got cancer. I dropped a log on my leg.
That did come up, by the way.
Did it?
It did.
Oh, son of a bitch. See?
I don't worry about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have all of the other stuff that goes with it.
Yeah.
I don't have.
I chopped my arm off at my shoulder. Well, you've got cancer.
I'm chalking it up to menopause.
Yeah.
That was the first thing that came up.
And that's the simplest explanation, and it works. The rest of the stuff.
I have a lot of other symptoms.
Had you had to have hives or
welts
and all this other bullshit like visible.
And
skin.
this was gone within hours. It wasn't like it was there for.
So the simplest explanation is usually the one.
It really felt like I had a heating pad on the side of my face. Yeah, it was weird. Anyway.
And that makes sense that it would be, because, that's got to affect your circulation, so.
Menopause?
Yeah.
Well, when your hormone levels are out of whack, all kinds of things go wrong. I'm a walking dictionary, and I really believe that the menopause is the cause of a lot of the
makes
the hot flashes at night and all that other stuff. So anyway.
There was that watch thing we saw when we were.
Do you know how much that is?
How much?
Because don't you think I've already looked that up?
Yeah.
I looked it up before. $300.
Oh, fuck all that.
And I'm not spending that for something I know probably doesn't work. It's called Ember Wave or something. It's a watch.
I saw an ad for it, and they didn't really do the price, so I guess that's the hint that it's stupid expensive.
It's stupid expensive. It's supposed to be, you touch it, and it's supposed to instantly cool you down, which, no.
Yeah.
I just don't see it working, so I'm not going to spend that kind of money.
Yeah.
How does something like that?
So,
I mean, it's science. That's what they say.
Whatever.
I don't know. So anyway, that was my Wonder Week.
Mm-hmm.
I should get shirts.
Yeah,
Wonder Week.
with little tear-offs. Week 3, week 4. I started going back to me and Mike got. I think we talked about it last week. We joined the rec center, and
one really cool thing about Virginia Beach is they have community recreational centers with swimming pools, and
they have the one by the house. We lived very close to one. That's why we went to that instead of going to Planet Fitness. Well, I love Planet Fitness.
When I go back to the gym, it will be Planet Fitness.
Yeah, but Planet Fitness is a drive, and if there was one closer, I'd do that and over the rec center any day of the week. But the cool thing about the rec center is that it's got a big pool, so if I wanted to do that, I can get in their pool and do laps or whatever. I'm not doing that yet. But they also have ping pong tables, pool tables you can use. All of it's free use. Foosball.
Yeah.
So all that's cool.
Yeah.
So there's that. And then I just wanted to I want to start by just doing cardio. So I remember from the Planet Fitness days to do the elliptical worked really well for me. So I did that. And the first day I kind of overdid it. I think I set the pace up too high because I did about 10 minutes and then I had to stop. My legs were going to collapse under me if I kept doing that pace. So day one wasn't the greatest. But I noticed that there was an app for the machines there, so I downloaded the app, and then I went ahead and set up MyFitnessPal again, and I haven't been great about doing my food in there, but, it's keeping track of everything.
I'm going to go back to that, too.
Put this back on.
MyFitnessPal.
Yeah.
I am, because the app I have, the Wonder app, doesn't really track. I mean, you can type what you ate, but there's no,
And I'm not going to pay. I can do the free stuff that does what I needed to do. I don't need to do the... Because MyFitnessPal, they do have where you pay them and they do more, but, no. That's... It used to be all of it was free. So I'm kind of stingy with that. But anyway, so I went Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with Mike. Mike went with me Friday. But Wednesday... I decided I'd slow my pace a little bit, and I did the full 15. And I didn't die, so that's good. And then Friday, I decided I would try one of the other machines. They have a sitting elliptical that's like a recumbent bike, but it's an elliptical, which was weird. But it wouldn't power on, so I went back to the elliptical. So next week, I'll try to see if there's some other machine that I can do. Basically, I just want to get cardio in, where I get my heart rate up for a while, and then maybe after a while I'll start using some of the other weight machines just to build muscle, but I'm not trying to do that right away. I just want to...
That's what I like about Planet Fitness. They have that little circuit.
They had that circuit room.
Yeah. Because you could do the circuit and then go do time.
The circuit, what they have at Planet Fitness is a room where they have it marked where you do they have a timer and a light that times it for you have 2 minutes of doing the exercise and then a minute of rest and then 2 minutes of doing the next thing and the rest. And the way it was paced was you start on the machine, rest, do a exercise like a freestanding exercise where you're stepping up on a thing or doing whatever, and then rest and then back to another machine, and you basically did the circle around this room. And when you were done, it was basically a half hour. Mm-hmm. A half hour passes. So that was great because I would do that and then do the cardio, and then I felt like that I had a great workout. So I'm not there yet.
Maybe we shouldn't cancel our Planet Fitness right yet.
No. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
We've been paying for it this long. What's the difference?
Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll see. I'll have to figure that out if I want to go back in there. It's just a good distance away.
Could do both, though. Go to the rec center when you want to. Go to Planet Fitness when you want to.
Yeah.
In the rec center, you paid for the whole year, so...
Yeah, I can go in there and do the swimming and then do the workout. Because I could drop you off and then do that.
Well, I'll be out of school in 7 weeks anyway.
Yeah, that's true. And by then, maybe you'll be up to...
Maybe.
Exercising. So, yeah. We'll look at that. Give us some encouragement in the comments, folks, or Cash App $K-Rose.
It's going to get you a little sign to hold up.
Anyway, this week I got... Wednesday's going to be difficult because I got doctor's appointments. So I might
do
go
a Tuesday.
Monday and Tuesday, and then go back Thursday or whatever. Yeah, I have to figure that out. But Wednesday I got Dr. Bev in the morning, and then Dr. Jones later on. I'm going to start later, which is nice. Just because, the job's been difficult lately. Just because, it's taking a beating for a living.
Well, that's what we all do.
Yeah.
Unless you're Elon Musk. Although he's been taking a beating lately too. But he's got enough money that it doesn't matter.
I think he's getting a lot of praise. And yeah, he's taking it on the chin with some folks.
Yeah.
But especially
people either love him or hate him, one or the other.
It's one or the other. There's no in between. Which I think what he's doing is great. I think the idea that somebody says, you know what, we need less censorship and an area where people can say what they want to say without reprisal from.
Yes, an open forum for ideas is always good. And we all know who the idiots are.
Yeah.
They're going to put their bullshit up there. I have to have faith that enough people understand and recognize the bullshit.
I think one of the issues that people think is out there is that people don't realize that shit is bullshit. Like,
I guess it happens on both. It does happen on both sides.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So,
but either way, you don't censor that. Censorship has never been a good thing. Like every time there's been a censor, one of the things that we were going to talk about is that the government's response to Elon Musk saying we're going to do a free speech format on Twitter is they've created a disinformation governance board from the Homeland Security, so they can use this as an emergency to be able to censor speech if they need to. That's the Ministry of Truth or the whatever you want to call it. That should scare the fuck out of you.
It really is a little scary.
It is. It's truly government censorship. There's like, we wanted these companies to censor people, but since this guy's going to not do that, we'll have to do it. We're going to have to do it. You
look at what's happening in Russia and the way Putin has completely shut down any information he doesn't want in to the people of Russia.
Same thing.
And they are not getting the information of the reality of what's going on in the world right now.
Absolutely.
And that should scare anybody that, we could be under that kind of... And I know people say, the media is too big, this country's too big for that. I just don't think that's true. I don't think that's true.
It's not, because, you've had... there's... if anything you've had to have noticed over the last few years is the obvious bias that the media has. And these platforms had. They weren't blocking people that were socialist left-wing people. They were blocking people that were like, hey, no. Whether you agreed with them or not, that's the people that were getting blocked.
Joe Rogan, who brings people of all different beliefs onto his show and has open conversation with people he doesn't agree with.
Yeah.
They were trying to get him thrown off Spotify and whatever because he doesn't censor other people from saying...
What they
believe. He wasn't saying what they wanted him to say about COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And so just shut him down. And that is dangerous.
Absolutely.
And I know there are people out there that their speech is dangerous also.
That's fine, but...
That's where you have to come back at those people. You have to have the forum to come back with arguments and proof and truth and...
Yeah.
And then let people decide if they're going to believe in whatever.
Yeah. You have to figure that people, are going to have enough of say, well, that's bullshit. People's bullshit meters, maybe they'll return. That people will realize, hey, I'm hearing this. I'm checking against my logic and my value system, and this is bullshit or that's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because I think like a lot of people. We live in a two-party system. And the two parties that we live in right now that run the world are diametrically opposed, Mm-hmm. So you're going to have your far out there crazies on both sides.
Absolutely.
And then you have good, intentioned, common sense, solution-seeking people on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, what sells news is that where the money is in that crazy polarizing bullshit. Because the more they can pit people against each other, the better. That's where these terms, with people calling this disinformation governance board the Ministry of Truth.
Yeah.
It's as much of a misdirection and a scare tactic as calling the Florida thing the Don't Say Gay bill. Because it's meant to make you feel a certain way.
Yeah.
And what they're hoping is the majority of people don't ever look any further than that. They take whoever they believe, whatever side they fall on, they're just going to believe everything they say. Because they realize, is really, on both sides, very scary.
Well, they realize that most people just don't have time to do the type of real research.
And they make it so hard.
They do make it very hard.
To make sense out of anything.
Yeah, that's on purpose. That is on purpose.
I just want people I believe in. I mean, that's just the bottom. There hasn't been a politician I believe in a very long time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There was
I'm like stuck between worlds.
I was listening to a podcast and I heard one of the most interesting stories, and it was about George Washington. Now, George Washington was awesome by all accounts, but when they did the deal where they were going to move the head of the government in D.C., he made sure that it was right there on the Potomac because his plantation was right there.
Yeah.
He wanted to make sure that his land was cemented into so that people would go to his land or whatever, but basically making sure that his legacy would remain there and the DC would remain there, and which that kind of makes George look like kind of an asshole, but okay.
The world was such a smaller place then, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
but George Washington, by still all accounts, was the best. I mean, he refused money. He, did his best to be open-minded about shit.
Yeah. Someone really good needs to come along and in a hurry.
Yeah, there's nobody out there like that.
Because there's nobody. When I look at the future of, what I would feel like someone I could believe in, I don't see anyone anywhere.
The closest thing I see is a guy named Justin Amash. He's a congressman or former congressman out of Michigan. I've heard even
crazy things from him, though.
Yeah, but he's consistent.
But I don't want crazy anymore. I'm done with crazy. I want level-headed, solutions-oriented problem solvers. That's what I want, and they don't exist in politics anymore. Because everyone's in for either A, they're just out to demolish the other side and make them look bad, or B, they're in it for money.
Well, maybe that's the problem. We're looking to government and politicians to solve problems, and they don't have any interest in really doing that.
Yeah.
They have interest in looking like they're doing that. But their interest is in gaining power. That's why they never even came close to passing any type of, term limits. The only time they've term limited anybody was the president, and that was because FDR, if he hadn't died, he would have kept being president, and the Depression would have continued on because people were buying the idea that he was doing the right thing. But they have never even, anytime anybody brings it up, it's kind of a fringe thing and then it goes away and it never gets anywhere. These people, will claim, I'm doing this for the good of the people, but no, the government doesn't solve problems. They spent trillions of dollars on the war on poverty. Well, there's still poverty. There are charts that you can look at and you can show poverty on the decline. Now. And then once they started doing all these, like what do they call it? The Johnson's plan. What was it?
We've tried so hard for so long to not get very political on this podcast.
Well, the idea was that poverty was going down, and then when they did the Great Deal, or it wasn't a great. God, what was it?
The New Deal?
No, well, the New Deal started it, but Johnson's Great Society. It basically it leveled off, but it just stays at this level. It's not going down any further, and if anything, it ticks up. But trillions of dollars have been spent on it, and it hasn't done anything.
Yeah. Well, now you got one guy spending $44 billion on a company.
Yeah.
You know, and here's the thing about Twitter. If you don't like what's happening on Twitter, don't go on Twitter.
Delete the app?
I mean, I've said that all along.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't follow certain people.
Well, the problem there was that there were people on the right that decided, okay, I'll start my own platform. Well, they immediately shut it down because the people that are these, leftists, hardcore leftists, they have a lot of the industry already on lock. Like the Amazon was like, we don't like that you guys exist, so we're shutting you down.
Yeah, I know. I get all of that. And I guess what I feel like is there are whack jobs on the right that really shouldn't be heard.
Absolutely.
I mean, their beliefs are so far from what I believe in.
Mm-hmm.
And when they talk, they just sound crazy.
Absolutely.
And then there are people on the left who I feel are the same.
Yeah.
Like when I listen to them, I'm like, we are not living in the same world.
Yeah.
And so I can understand the desire to want, we need to stop listening to these people because they're really it's not helpful.
Yeah.
And then the people who make sense just don't have...
They don't have the biggest...
They don't have the biggest voice because no one's interested in someone who makes sense.
Yeah. I agree.
No one wants to vote for someone whose demeanor is, rational and calm and, let's be inclusive and listen to everyone and figure out what's best and let's compromise and move forward. And, the government, to me, should be very limited in what they have to deal with. The social aspects of our country right now, everyone just, in my opinion, I wish everyone would just be like, look, let's just let people be who they are.
Live your own life.
Live your life. Go about your business.
No argument
Judge
for me.
people for, their actions and their words and what they do and not on one singular statement they made or one singular belief that they have. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's sad to me because I feel so in the middle of everything all the time.
Yeah. That's where most people are. But they know if they express any of that. Yeah, I think so. But I think if people they feel like if they express one way or the other, there's going to be blowback.
Mm-hmm.
But
we were at the oceanfront the other day, and we were behind this pickup truck that was flying this huge American flag off the back of the truck on one side, and on the other side, they were flying this huge flag that said, "Fuck Biden." And I was like, what an asshole.
Yeah. Because you're going
that, first of all, should not... There's obscenity there.
Yeah.
That if I'm walking down the oceanfront with my children...
Yeah, you have to...
I don't need them to see that.
Right. You got kids walking around. You don't want...
The same way I'll never forget the picture of Cole at the Halloween parade.
Yeah.
With the woman with the big sign that said, "Grab him by the pussy." I'm sorry. Why?
Yeah.
So you're making a statement that Trump made a statement. A horrible, ugly statement. No, I'm not arguing that at all. What he said, that's disgusting. But you're perpetrating it by standing out on the street in front of kids with a big sign that says that.
Yeah.
What makes you different?
It's worse because
he said it in private.
Yeah, he said it in private, thinking he was alone with who was it, Billy Bush.
That kind of thing. I think we do need to calm that stuff down.
Yeah.
We were coming back from the beach today, and there was a group of kids.
This is funny.
Standing on the corner, and we were, I don't know, 6-7 cars away from the intersection in traffic, and all I could really see were them holding signs up, and I was like, is that a car wash or a protest? And then I'm like, this is the times that we're living in right now. When 10 years ago, I would have driven down the road and I would have seen a group of people holding signs, and immediately I would have been like, oh, that's a football team. They're doing, or the cheerleaders are doing a car wash, or, you know, whatever. I never, ever would have thought it was anything other than that. And now it's like, I don't know, are they protesting something? Like, what's going on right here? It's so sad that that's what it's come to.
Yeah.
Car wash or protest.
Ended up being a charity drive. I don't think they were washing cars. They were all wearing the same shot.
A baseball team for a school or something, and little leaguers or something, and they were raising money, which is what I was hoping it would have turned out to be. They were carrying
a bucket for cash. So.
Yeah.
Like the firemen around, I know they do it around here, and I think I've seen them do it in Atlanta.
I haven't seen them do it in a long time, where they have the boot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm like, that's where my head is right now.
Yeah.
Are we in the middle of some kind of protest, or are these just people trying to raise money for their little league team?
I remember we were riding the oceanfront one night during Beach Week, and at the time, it was before they did something on water, and we thought we'd drive down and check it out because the reports were that it was very safe. And then it became very obvious that they were directing traffic away from the oceanfront.
Yeah, because some kids were dancing. And,
yeah.
I mean, honestly, they weren't
causing
nobody was causing any trouble. Yeah, there was just a large group of people gathered, and that's the sad part about where our...
Oh, yeah?
I swear every single day I get, like, news updates to my phone, like, notifications from all different news places. Every day. Shooting here, shooting there. 3 died at a mall. Every single day. Yeah. And it's like, now you go, okay, well, if I drive down at the oceanfront on a Saturday and there is a large gathering of people, I don't want to be anywhere near that. Because you just don't know.
Yeah.
If these people have been drinking, if some fight's going to break out. And it seems like a fight breaks out and then they're shooting. You know?
Yeah.
That's something that needs to get...
Well, the oceanfront's pretty good during the day. It's at night when I would never have you down there at night.
Yeah, because those bars just ply people full of alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
And let them...
Some guy gets pissed because this girl danced
People
with this
can't
guy
handle
and blah,
anymore.
blah, blah.
It used to be there'd be a fist fight. Someone might pull a knife.
Yeah.
Now it's like everybody just draws weapons on each other.
Yeah.
And I saw 2 separate videos of baseball games this week. One was a Little League baseball game. One was a high school game. During the game, gunfire just ringing out. And kids, and I'm talking maybe 8-year-olds, running off the Little League field because they didn't know where the bullets were coming from. That was in North Carolina or South Carolina.
Oh, jeez.
The other one I want to say was in New York somewhere. The high school one. Or maybe Chicago. Chicago. You know, everyone's like looking around like, what? That literally sounds like fireworks going off. It's a lot of gunfire. And kids are just running at a baseball game.
There was a couple years back, there was a video that was, I think it was on Wavy, and it was a apartment complex out of Portsmouth, and they had video footage of this full-on gun battle between like 4 guys, and then on the other side was another 6 or 7 guys. And thankfully they got shitty aim because no one got hurt, but it was crazy because it was one of those, you know, black and white because it was night vision cameras and whatnot. Yeah. But it was like, Jesus Christ.
I am a supporter of people's right to own weapons. Mm-hmm. I definitely do believe you should have the right. And more gun laws isn't going to change the fact that people illegally own weapons. Because they're already illegally owning weapons.
Oh, yeah. I imagine if they tracked down all those people in that video, they were all illegally owned.
But something needs to happen with the illegal guns that are out there.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Way too many people just seem to be That's their first course of action when the fight breaks out.
It's,
remember the scene from I can't believe Anchorman.
oh,
Where,
my
you know,
God.
the big fight broke out in Anchorman and all these crazy weapons get drawn. Did anybody pull a gun during that fight?
One guy on the Mantooth team.
I mean, I know they had, like, crazy weapons. It was meant to be funny.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that's what it's like out there now. Like, two
Rick
guys
had
have a fight. Yeah, he killed a guy with a trident.
Yeah.
You just watch the news. It's like almost afraid to go anywhere anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Something needs to happen there.
Well, luckily the restaurants are on top of it, though. We were talking about this. One of the things with the pandemic is, of course, the way you get food from restaurants, because you couldn't go into the restaurants for the longest time. So they were trying to find ways to do it, and the way you do it is you go curbside. Yeah. And we went to Jason's Deli, and they're using some third-party app. But
Oh my gosh, it was really good.
Yeah.
The food was good, but the app experience was probably the best curbside app experience I've ever had.
You marked it that you were on the way, and it tracked you.
Yep, it said, you know, and then we pulled into the parking lot, and it said, "Welcome to Jason's Deli." Like, this notification came up. And it's like, just park in one of the spots and we'll be out with you momentarily.
And they were.
We didn't have to call. We didn't have to click that we were there. We pulled into a marked spot. She was maybe 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. We even got a thing saying, "Oh, sorry you're waiting. We're on our way."
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, on one way, I'm like, dang, they know everything about us, tracking us through this app. But on the other side of it, it was like...
But, I mean, the other good thing about that app is that you didn't have to sign in. You didn't create an account.
No, I mean, I did on Jason's Deli.
Oh, okay.
And I said what kind of car we had and that kind of thing. But then when I got the thing saying, just let us know when you're on your way, download this app. The app itself is not a Jason's Deli app.
Right.
So they had all my information from my Jason's Deli account.
Yeah, but that's cool. Walmart, we avoid going into the Walmart, which, you know, I do this thing. I got it from my brother Billy.
I was doing grocery order pickup before the pandemic, though.
But, I mean, it's been a staple now. I mean, I don't go into the Walmart unless it's something I have to get in a hurry.
You don't do big shopping trips.
No.
You do, like, I got to go get bread or whatever, yeah.
Yeah. Like, when I'm done here, I got to go get mayonnaise. So I got to run.
Because I sat for an hour, like, is there anything else we need at Walmart? No. As soon as we get home, we need mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Dang it.
I've always got to cross the street. That's something that's been going on since I was a kid. But one thing I did, I learned from my brother Bill. What's up, Bill? He used to talk about just going, you know, like if he felt bad about things, he'd go and drive in front of the Walmart and look at the decreds, and he'd just feel better. It's like watching the Jerry Springer show.
So, I'm not going to say anything because I made a comment on Facebook one year about people shopping at...
Oh, fuck that guy.
Where was it? Target
on Thanksgiving night. Yeah.
And I got taken to task about making this comment about the people waiting in line on Thanksgiving to get into Target.
That guy can go to hell. So, anyway.
I think I called him sheep.
Yeah.
I am against shopping on Thanksgiving. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, you need to be with your family.
You want to camp out Black Friday?
Just so you can spend your money and get a deal. You're not getting a deal. I have news for you.
Yeah.
They're not giving you stuff for cheaper than what they paid for.
It was the first year that they opened on Thanksgiving Day at like 9 o'clock. And there were people like...
I'm like, there's not going to be anybody there. And this line was around the damn building.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't believe it.
It was crazy. But some guy was giving well, you don't understand what people...
you sit on your high horse and put people down. I was like... I mean...
Fuck that guy.
I wouldn't wait in line at Target on any day of the year. Mm-hmm. I'm not a shopper. And I know there are people who love the Black Friday. They'd go out at midnight. And I'm all... You want to do that? Go ahead. But to open on Thanksgiving... You're taking the employees at that store away from their families.
Yeah, during dinner time, because it's not like they're going to show up at, at 9 o'clock and open up the store. They've got to be there at like 7 o'clock because they got to prep.
If you can't afford to buy a 60-inch TV, look for a good deal through the year. then don't own a 60-inch TV.
Yeah.
Or save your money and go buy yourself a 60-inch TV.
Yeah.
Don't make the poor people who are getting paid next to nothing to work at Target. I feel bad for like the poor woman who's got kids and she wants to try to have a Thanksgiving with her family, but she's got to go run the checkout at Target because someone wants to get a 60-inch TV for $300.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's crazy.
Off my high horse because not everybody shares that opinion.
Yeah, well.
My opinions are my own. Make sure I run a disclaimer.
But, you go through and you watch people coming in and out. Well, not all of them are decorrect. Most of them are not. But you are inevitably going to see somebody that you're just like, God damn, that guy's got a rough life. Because you can you look at people and you can read the
funny part about
desperation on them.
The funny part about that is if you and I were walking in there, there'd be somebody going by going, look at those fucks. Like, at least I don't have it that bad.
When I've gone in the little jogging pants going to get them, I'm sure somebody said, look at this guy, look at this shit.
Remember the time we went to Ollie's?
Oh my God.
And we were like, okay, I'm not a shopper. So, we went into Ollie's, it's just not my cup of tea. And, there were some very interesting people in the Ollie's, and we were like, it's just not my spot. And we went from Ollie's to Harris Teeter, and I was like, okay, now I feel like I'm the one, like, slumming in here when I shouldn't be at the Harris Teeter. I really should be shopping.
Because it used to be Harris Teeter was a bit more snooty. They've calmed that shit down. It is a bit more
snooty. It still is.
It is compared to like the old Bilo, which I don't even think Bilo's still around.
Bilo was my jam when I was a kid.
Yeah. Food Line is we have a Food Line that's fairly close, but it's always under construction. So I don't understand how that place stays in business.
Of course, we almost went to Wegmans today. I can't pull the trigger on Wegmans. That's just too high society for me.
That's crazy. I went in there one time. You sent me in there to track down a cake
we're living on a
mom.
Food Lion budget. I have no business being in Wegmans.
Yeah, because you wanted a special cake for your mom. I think it was for her birthday or Mother's Day. But you were after a mascarpone cake. And you felt like they would have it.
Yeah, because they're fancy.
But I happened to walk in. The place is enormous. It's out on the boulevard. It's enormous.
I mean, people know Wegmans.
And I happened to walk in right where the bakery was. So I didn't have to, like, explore or travel or walk through freaking the city that is Wegmans to find it. And they didn't have it.
But I did hear, like, at Wegmans, you have the little checkout device with you. And you just scan your stuff and put it in your bags, and you don't have to wait in line.
That's nice.
That's what almost got me into Wegmans today because I'm a tech junkie. Mm. But
Kroger's got that.
So does Walmart.
Walmart has it on your phone.
Even better.
So I could set up the account to do that. So we walk.
You have to pay for it though.
Yeah.
You have to become a Walmart Plus member.
Which I might be.
We're not.
Oh.
Because it's like $97 a year. Which. We shop at Walmart all the time. It probably would pay for us.
Amazon Prime is that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, more than that now. They raised up their price.
Oh, Jesus.
That was another thing we were going to talk about. The Amazon stock took a nosedive, like 14%.
There's a lot of stock that's going down. Netflix has gone down. Their profits gone down 60%. Their stock price has gone down 60%.
There's two things at play here, I think. And this is me speaking on, because I'm such a financial whiz. Anyone who knows me in real life is laughing at this point. Oh no, hold on. Yeah, I know so much about how the economy works. Mm-hmm. But what I think is there are two things happening here. Sorry, I'm trying to look up. Okay. First is inflation and the freaking ridiculous price for everything.
Yeah, everything's gone up.
We went to Walmart today. Our bill was $207. And
really?
We got home today and I was like, what in the hell did we get for $207?
It was, we were able to get it all in the house in 2 trips.
I mean, we got meals for the week.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
But yeah, I was like, I mean, we're eating like tuna fish sandwiches one night and hamburgers one night. It's not like we're eating, big fancy meals.
We're not getting steak.
But
That's
we did get
expensive
steak.
Yeah,
We got flank steak, but that's expensive now too.
Yeah. I've talked about that where you would used to be for $17 you get 2 complete flank steaks in one package, but now they don't even package it like that anymore. It's
Amazon, let's see,
one.
fell 14%. I was trying to see because I saw Bezos how much money he lost.
It's like 90 million or something, 90 billion. He lost a lot of money.
Amazon said Thursday it projects revenues between 116 billion and 121 billion in the second quarter, trailing the 125 billion average analyst estimate. But they said how much the 14% cost him, and it was in the billions. Could you imagine having so much money that you literally lose billions in a single day in the stock market?
That's crazy. It's crazy. Well, some of that is that people are going to the stores.
They're going
now.
back out to the stores. That's the other part of it.
Yeah.
It's like, one is things are just so much more expensive that people just aren't buying, or they don't want to pay shipping on top of everything else.
So Amazon's free ride is over.
Well, I mean, we still get free shipping if you pay per month for that.
No, I mean they benefited greatly from lockdowns and shit like that.
Yeah.
But now that people are much more comfortable with going out,
I think that's a big part of it.
it probably is.
Yeah. People are back at the movies. People are back in restaurants. People are back in stores.
Yeah. They're not as scared to go in and you know, especially if your belief is, and I'm a believer of this, shop somewhere where you're helping out the little guy.
It isn't even not scared to do it. You're just allowed to do it now.
Yeah. That's true too.
You know, so that's probably, but I just can't even imagine like being, I lose $3 in Dogecoin and I'm like, damn, I'm down to $12 in Dogecoin. I can't imagine. I lost billions today. It's unbelievable.
How am I going to get
I could
that
have
boat
bought
out
Twitter
of the canoe
with what I
now?
lost on the stock market today.
How am I going to get that gigantic fucking yacht out of that bay?
Yeah. I have to pay that town to take their bridge down.
Shit, I can't afford that now. God damn it. I'm going to have to put that off, guys.
Oh, my
Hold on to it
gosh.
for a little bit. Don't move that bridge yet.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's funny.
Well, here's what I say. We have tried to steer away from politics for a long time on our show. Mainly because of me. Kevin's itching to talk politics.
Yeah.
And I am not, because, I mean, I like to talk politics with my close friends, but my beliefs don't stick anywhere on one side or the other. So, I'm half and half, you know.
That's where most people are.
And
honestly, I believe that's where most people are.
I mean, I have strong feelings on certain politicians.
Mm-hmm.
Some of whom I won't voice because I have so many friends that support that other side, or it's just not worth it to me.
Yeah.
I even feel making the quick statement about the Ministry of Truth nickname and the Don't Say Gay nickname. I mean, if you look at the Don't Say Gay bill, I mean, I 100% support the fact that teachers should be allowed to have conversations with kids and meet them wherever they are.
Right.
You have to love your kids that come to you no matter what, and support them no matter what their situation is.
Right.
Put your personal feelings aside.
Yeah.
I mean, that, to me, as a teacher, I have no room for my own opinions. Mm-hmm. I feel the same in newscasting. Like, they should not be bringing their own personal opinions into it. Right. So, especially in early education.
Right.
Like, I have no right to talk about what in my opinion, I have no right to talk about my own personal stuff, which I happen to believe if kids identify as one gender or the other, or gay or straight, you support them and you love them and you give them everything they need from whatever you can do. Right. Because they are human beings who deserve to have that kind of respect, as any other person does. Now, when you talk about talking to 5-year-olds about gender selection, I'm not sure that's an appropriate topic to be in your curriculum for a kindergarten class.
Yeah.
I think if you have a kindergartner come to you and bring that conversation to you, you can't say, I'm not allowed to talk about that. Because then you're sending the signal that there's something wrong with you. Mm-hmm. I should be able to have a conversation with the child at any age with whatever they bring to me. My kids might come in and talk about them having 2 moms or having 2 dads.
Yeah.
I have to show them literature where all family structures are represented, all minorities are represented. You know, I have to be that place for them.
Right.
So if they want to come in and say to me, Mrs. Rose, you know, I just felt like wearing a skirt today, but I'm a boy and I don't know if I should wear a skirt. I would definitely 100% have a conversation supporting that child. I don't think it should be written into my curriculum that I have to bring that up.
Right.
That's where I see the difference.
That's right. That's
with young kids.
Where the bill was.
Now,
yeah.
as kids age, I see a different situation.
Right.
As kids are older, I do think that those topics can be approached.
Well, right now, you're teaching 5-year-olds who the biggest decision they have to make is which cereal
they don't even know how to get in line.
Yeah.
You know, or did they want a Pop-Tart, but they really wanted the cereal. They need help opening up their milk. And I do have kids with a lot of grown-up problems. Mm-hmm. And they do talk to me about their grown-up problems.
Right.
And I don't give advice, but I listen. And I don't know if I should. No, I probably won't say that. I don't always report back to the parent exactly everything the kid tells me. Mm. Because they need to be able to trust that I'm going to support them no matter what.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I have students in very unstable home situations. I have students in very stable home situations. I have students with all ranges of disability, on all ranges of treatment. And they want to come and talk to me about whatever's going on with them. Mm-hmm. I have to just talk to them like they're okay for having those feelings. So when you put a bill out that says don't say gay, and that's not really what the bill is saying.
Right.
Because I, in parts, agree with your curriculum shouldn't be structured toward bringing those things in, but you shouldn't be limited on talking about it.
Right.
So, I don't know. I threw it out there. I don't want to make someone think that I'm on board with the whole don't say gay thing, because I'm not.
Right.
That's where it gets so tricky. I feel like I have to be so careful.
Well, and
because I understand everybody's point of view.
Yeah.
And it puts me in a weird spot. I wish I could be as strong in my convictions. And you are, like, you know what you believe. You don't question your core beliefs.
Right. Well,
but you also respect everybody.
Yeah.
Regardless of where they grew up or if they're gay or straight or how they identify.
Yeah.
I mean, you are the same person to every single buddy you meet.
Yeah. Well, and that's easy. It's actually very easy. First of all, it starts with having grown up. My dad was real big on principles and value. What do you value? What are your principles? What are your core principles? And I think that's something that people have lost because you never hear anybody talk about principles. So I have a principle belief in freedom and liberty and the free market. And the very, very core principle of that is don't hurt anybody, don't take their stuff. That's it. I start with that. Mm-hmm. I try to make things as simple as possible. When it comes to politicians, the most powerful politician that has any effect on your life should be somebody you can have a meeting with. Can you get a meeting with your congressman? I probably couldn't. I probably could call Lorraine Laura's office and ask for an appointment, and I'm very doubtful I'd be able to get it. But I might be able to get an appointment with my city council member.
Or a representative, like
or a state
local government representative.
But, you know, the more power these people have, the less likely you are from having a meeting with them. Now, these folks that are tossing hundreds of thousands of dollars in campaigns, and then when they go around and they're, you know, having speaking engagements where they're getting paid thousands of dollars to speak, you know, that's they're going to get a meeting, you know. Goldman Sachs is going to get a meeting.
Yeah.
But you're not, because you're not that guy.
You know what else I notice as you're talking? Like, a lot of local politicians steer clear of labeling themselves Democrat or Republican.
Virginia Beach, particularly, they like they don't.
I mean, even though you know, like, once you read what they stand for or see what they do, you kind of know. But they don't have the D or the R necessarily prominently like local, like national people.
And you have to read between the lines. So you go to their website, you try to find the local elections are very difficult in that a lot of them will answer to a particular
platform, whether they give a generic what people want to hear answer.
Yeah, and it's not, you know, what are your core values? What are your core principles? And I think that would be a great benefit. Like, you know, what are, and you know, throw it in the comments. What are your core values? What are your core principles? Because if you define that and you don't stray from that, that's fine. You're great. You know, if you believe that people's lives are better because of government intervention, that's great. Own up to it. Live it. But, you know, and if you believe that, I'm not going to give you a hard time. I'm not going to agree with you, but I'm not going to give you a hard time about it. I'm not that guy.
No, you aren't. You do let other people believe what they believe, even if it's different than you.
They can be wrong.
Even though arguing with you can be, a futile thing. But as you're talking, I'm sitting here feeling like such a hypocrite.
No.
Because I don't believe in, like, student loan debt forgiveness.
No.
I don't think we should be across the board deleting student loan debt because you took a student loan. You should be responsible for paying it back. That's my core belief. Yeah. Like, my principle.
Yeah.
My reality is very different from that because I am still looking down a very large student loan. Mm-hmm. And there's a public service loan forgiveness program, whereas if you work a certain amount of time in public service and you pay for your loan for a certain period of time, they will forgive the balance of your loan. So I'm in the process right now of, you know, figuring out where I fall on that. So I'm torn between, but I have to look at it this way. I don't want Joe Biden to come and say to me, look, we're just going to forgive your debt because you have it.
Right.
I want them to say to me, look, we're going to forgive your debt or a portion of it because you have dedicated X amount of years to public service. Like if I was in the military. Well,
not only that, but and here's the thing. There are companies out there, like Cox has a tuition reimbursement.
Yeah, I mean, most companies
have tuition reimbursement. Mm-hmm. You go and you get an education. In some big companies, if you get hired, you work for them a certain amount of time, they pay off your student debt.
Right.
There are companies out there that do that.
I mean, they do it with trades too.
Right. Trade, and the trades do it great because they don't have to. I mean, you can get certified for like HVAC.
Well, I mean, I think, you know, we know somebody who's doing that and graduated from high school with certain certifications, got a job right out of high school with a big company who was paying for him to continue his education. Good. So I mean that I do. I mean, that's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah. So in the fact that you work for the government, if they offer something like that, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that per se. But to go across the board and say, well, you shouldn't have, you know, you made a bad decision getting this degree in you know, medieval women's literature, you know, because you're going to make a ton of money doing that, but we'll pay off your debt. Yeah. Meanwhile, there's a guy that got out of high school says, I got a great idea. I'm going to start my own lawn company. Right. I need to buy $100,000 worth of equipment and property so I can have the equipment in a safe spot. Mm-hmm. They take out that loan. They start hiring people. There's nobody talking about forgiving their loan.
Because they're making money. You're not going to make money with a romance letter.
Well, I mean, right. But there are people that the whole idea behind going to college is so that you can make so much more money. Yeah. So these people are in the higher income brackets. Why are we paying their loans off and not this poor guy schlepping around cutting grass?
Yeah. No, I agree. I look at people who've been teaching, and because I teach in a Title I school, that's part of the qualifications. I teach underprivileged children, and I have the entirety of my career. I don't have any desire to move to a building.
Because they would snatch you up in a heartbeat.
Well, I did my student teaching under that environment, and I hated every second of it.
Yeah.
I enjoy working for kids, and I don't want to say who need me more, but they appreciate what you bring to them more. Mm-hmm. They need more.
Yeah.
I don't want to go where I'm meeting with, like, the tutor and the therapist and the, you know, like, you don't need me. You don't need me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't see myself ever stepping away from my building.
No.
So, but I watch teachers who teach 3 years, 5 years. They're like, I'm done. I got to make it to the end of this year so I can get my loan forgiven. And it burns me up.
That's stupid, too.
Because it's like, I've been at this for 23. This is the end of this school year will be my 23rd year. Mm-hmm. And granted, I haven't managed money well throughout our marriage or throughout my life before you. I'm not a money manager.
No. I'm not either.
And so I've made a ton of mistakes. Yeah. But there's a program to, like, help people because you don't make money as a teacher.
No.
You're not getting paid what someone else with the same education level as you gets paid.
Yeah, because you have a master's
So
degree.
if I went into corporate with a master's degree, I'd be making way more money than
probably
I make right now.
$100,000 on your own.
So I appreciate that there's this.
Yeah.
I know you're carrying this burden, and if you put so much time into it, you know, and you've paid. I mean, I had to pay 10 years. It's not like, oh, well, you know, you've been paying for 3 years, so now we're going to forgive everything. But I have to show that I've made 10 years worth of payments on my loan. Mm-hmm. So a lot of my loan, you know, when I first signed up for looked into the public service loan stuff, they were like, you have to be on an income-based repayment plan. And at the time, we were married, mm-hmm. and we made what we made put my payment over $1,000 a month. Which, when they only look at what you make and they say, okay, this is how much you can pay, they are not taking into account
life,
everything else you handle, you know? Yeah. And so I was like, okay, so what you're saying is I'll pay the $1,000 a month for 10 years, and then after that, you pay off the balance. But after 10 years, there won't be a balance.
Yeah.
Because you're telling me in order to pay this off in 10 years, this is what I have to pay. And he goes, that's pretty much how it works. Well, that's a scam.
That is a scam.
So I said, I can't afford to do that, so I'll just stick with what I have now. Now they realized they screwed that up. So now they're saying until October, they're like, we will retroactively look back and see how many payments you've made. Mm-hmm. You know, you have to get it done by a certain date. So there is that hypocritical side of me where I'm like, I don't necessarily believe in debt forgiveness. And I know that, like, saying, well, this is a public service loan, it's convenient, you know?
Well, like I said, if it wasn't something that couldn't be, that other companies weren't doing, your employer doing that, and even though you're a government employee, your employer's doing that because they understand that. I get that. The same as like with Cox.
But this isn't my employer paying my loan off.
Yeah, it is.
I guess I do technically still work for the government.
Yeah, you are a government
Well, that's
employee.
a good way to look at it then, Kevin.
There you go. I do what I can.
Tuition reimbursement.
I mean, I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem.
It's all about the filter, people.
Well, I don't mind it for that situation, even if they were just doing it.
Because it benefits me.
Well, there's that. But there are, a lot of employers, as part of their packages for employment, they cover education costs. Yeah. And whether it's, this is the same as that. So that's not the same as them saying, you are not producing anything in society that's worth a damn. So we're going to pay off your student loans so that, you can still stay in the basement and vote the way that we want you to vote.
There is a difference there.
There's an absolute difference.
And it still feels weird to me. But I will choke it down and do what I have to do. And I don't really expect the entirety of my loan to be washed away.
No.
And honestly, even if it isn't, it just is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I took the burden.
They just won't get repaid because we're going to die and we don't have kids.
They won't get entirely repaid. Well, once I die, my loan does not go off to anybody else. So, you're assuming I'm going to die before you, which probably will happen. But
no.
I'm older than you.
No, doesn't matter.
Whatever.
I won't live long without you. That's for sure. I'd probably starve after, I don't know, how long can people live without eating?
You'll eat.
Yeah. I don't know what. I don't know how to freaking do anything on my own. Shit.
Well, you'll be
I'll be homeless.
Let's not talk about that. It's very... Look, we've been going an hour and 15. Yeah. We might not even do our middle segment today. We talked for a long time.
Well, want to do like
and we were like, we didn't have anything to talk about.
I know.
You want to do one debatable card right here and now?
Sure.
All right.
So you're not going to get the extra theme song, folks.
Sorry, folks. I know, you're so sad.
Like, God damn it.
I'll give you one and I'll give me one and we'll just do this if they're any good.
All right.
Oh, my God. All right, that one's... I'm not even going to ask you that question.
Okay. Well, we got latest blockbuster movie or critically acclaimed film. I know you don't give a shit either way.
Latest blockbuster movie or critically acclaimed film. I would go with latest blockbuster movie.
Yeah.
The critically acclaimed films I can't get into.
Yeah.
Generally, I'm not highbrow. My intelligence doesn't match those critically acclaimed films. And I end up... I would prefer to see something commercially fun.
Yeah.
I mean, we watched Coda. I enjoyed that movie.
Yeah.
I haven't been to the movies since The Jokers. It was my last movie experience.
I went and saw Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go to see whatever won the Oscar. Well, I guess Coda won the Oscars. That was streaming.
It was... I would like to see King William. I may watch it.
Yeah. That's on HBO Max.
Probably.
Yeah.
Might be interesting to watch. I wanted to see it. I just never... I'm not... you know me. I'm not a movie watcher.
Yeah.
I don't like to commit that much time to anything other than coloring on my iPad and scrolling through Facebook and Twitter.
It might be a very interesting movie. It might smack you in the face.
You're so funny.
I think I'm funny.
You are.
If you think I'm funny, Cash App, $, K Rose VX.
We should set up a, I used to watch Jiggy shows.
Yeah.
And Jiggy would do, like, a certain number, like, you could pay a certain amount, and then he would, like, shout them out on the show, or he would drink something if they donated a certain amount of money. That's what we should do.
Yeah. I'm not even at Jiggy's level. Jiggy's not even one of the Jokers. He's a comedian.
He's the opening act for the Jokers, though.
He's their opening act, and he does a lot of, like, producer-type work for Gatto. On his podcast, and he does openings for Gatto now because oh my god! But he's funny. He's a funny guy. But
and during the pandemic, he did a lot of live like Zoom comedy shows from his kitchen, and we got tickets because they were free tickets. So you have to get a ticket, and then you can log in. They send you the code, whatever you log in, and there's like maybe 200 people in this. And some people were dropping big money. Like, I was keeping track one night. This woman must have paid $500.
Easily. Because
she kept doing $100 for this and drink this for $100. And, of course, I never donated any money. I just watched. But,
because every now and again, somebody from Jokers would show up. Like, Q showed up one time. Gatto showed up once. Rob...
Plus, he was funny. He would just do funny things.
Rob.
A $10 Cash App donation. Kevin will drink an ounce of pickle juice.
I'll do that. I'm down.
On the next podcast, and we'll shout your name out.
Yeah.
All right. Which is the better coast of the United States, east or west?
East, by far.
Oh, come on.
Is
that even a question?
Yeah. I watch Superman now, and I'm like, oh, let Lex have this one, Soups. It's all right.
I will say the West Coast is probably more beautiful.
Maybe.
Although there are a lot of really beautiful spots on the East Coast, too.
Yeah, I'm not...
But I think the West Coast is more natural and probably more picturesque. And
so, I don't know
they
if
have
I believe
the cliffs a lot over the, and the East Coast is really pretty. The oceans are pretty, but, like...
Because there's like houses.
I
right
think
up to
you look at the
shoreline.
ocean in Myrtle Beach, it looks like the ocean in Virginia Beach. It looks like the ocean in, maybe Florida's a little different. There's the waters that are mixing with the Gulf of Mexico there. So
yeah, but Florida's OTL, so
we are definitely East Coast people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see I live 4 miles away from the eastern edge of the United States, and I have for the majority of my life. So I have this natural, east, I can kind of figure out. I'm not a directions person, but I can feel where the ocean is just because I've been around it for so long.
There you go.
I don't think I would be happy anywhere else.
I wouldn't.
Plus, we can get to the mountains in a day, and,
Virginia's a really good state because of that. You've got several different land types, and then the food here is very diverse and awesome, and all the histories here. Virginia is really there's no beating Virginia. So we're going to do some more. All right. Better magician duo: Siegfried and Roy, Penn and Teller.
I didn't know Siegfried and Roy were magicians.
Yeah.
Oh, they were?
Oh, yeah.
I thought they were just lion tamers.
Well, that was part of their act until one of them got bit in the throat by
right,
a
but
tiger.
they were magicians? Mm-hmm. Did not know that, so I would have to say Penn and Teller.
Hey, Siegfried, watch me make my throat disappear.
Watch me make my blood disappear.
I'm going Penn and Teller just because,
they're pretty amazing.
They are pretty amazing.
Remember when they used to have that show called No Bullshit?
Bullshit. It was just called Bullshit. Oh, yeah.
I used to like that show.
Yeah.
Using the airplane lavatory versus holding it in at all costs.
I've only been on a plane flying to Boston and flying back. It was a 1-hour flight. I held it. I didn't want to have to walk around in the plane because, fuck all that.
Okay, so substitute it with using a porta potty versus holding it in at all costs.
I don't mind pissing in a porta potty.
Oh, not me. I would hold it in.
Yeah, I know you would.
I would probably wet my pants before I let it happen.
Really?
I remember one time we were traveling and I had to go to the bathroom so bad. And we stopped at this run-down gas station. It was so nasty. And I couldn't hold it anymore, so I went in and went to the bathroom. I felt so much better after that, and I was like, oh, my God. But, Kevin, you've traveled with me enough to know. If it's not a Sheetz or a Wawa, I'm not going in there. So,
There it is.
I'm not a public bathroom person. I don't like public. Although, ironically, the rest areas, along 85, are always pretty good.
They are. The ones in Virginia the rest areas are largely clean.
The ones in Virginia, anyway.
The one in Virginia's are anyway. Yeah.
I don't know about anywhere else, but darn it. You want to see a rare sight? Something people haven't seen on me in a really long time? No nail polish. Can you believe it? I haven't had no nail polish on for longer than a few hours in over a year.
You want to put some on tonight? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, then there you go.
Mm-hmm. By the way.
Go for it.
I did. I rank promoted 2 ranks in Color Street this month.
That's good.
Yeah. Nothing I did any spectacularly different than any other month, but they have a new payment system and a new rank system, and so I got some bonus money coming my way.
Yeah.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah. So if you want some pretty nails, let her know.
I'll hook you up. All right, we've been at this an hour and 20. That's longer than our normal.
Yeah.
You see, you get us talking about politics and all. Everything goes to hell.
All right, everybody.
We're going to lose half our listeners after this episode.
We're not giving you any cash. What
I'm
the
not
hell?
listening to these people anymore.
I'm not paying attention to you to hear you talk about bullshit politics. Tell me how you shit on yourself.
Work that into next week so we have something to talk about.
All right, everybody. Be safe this week. Try not to pay too close attention to the news. Go out and have some fun. And
live in the real world. Don't pay attention to the news.
All right. And next week will be Mother's Day. So, shout out to all the moms.
Oh, there's our theme for next week.
That's right. All right. Bye, everybody.